So, I mean, if you look like a human and you talk like a human, then you're a human.
Welcome to the Driving to the Rest podcast. This is Inelia.
And this is Larry. Just a quick note. If you're hearing this, you're on our free feed, which means you'll only get the first part of this conversation.
To access the rest, go drivingtotherest.com and subscribe to the Wisdom Keeper Hour.
Join us and our expert panelists for detailed insights and the after party where you're invited to join in the conversation. Head over to drivingtotherez.com and become a subscriber.
Your $8 subscription keeps this podcast ad-free and helps us keep the lights on and maybe even get a decent cup of coffee. More importantly, it connects you with a community of passionate wisdom keepers like yourself. So if you're ready to go deeper, join us at drivingtotherest.com and support the journey.
Greetings, Earthlings.
Earthlings. This week's episode is based on an article called We Are Human.
That seems obvious, right?
Yes.
But I think that it probably isn't. It isn't quite so obvious, and as usual, we need to define some terms. And I mean, the people we're talking to know about star seeds,
Palladium,
hybrid, alien hybrids, and Arcturians. So, what the heck is human?
Yes.
Let's go for it.
Okay. I'll read a little bit and then we can, unpack what I read.
All right.
Often I will talk about when I feel something in my human form, or I experience that in human, or that person can really speak human.
Yeah, I hear you say that often.
When I express myself in this manner, it seems to give the impression that I'm not human, or that the listener is not human.
Yeah, it gives that impression. Because it's like stating the obvious. Of course it's human.
Yes. I wonder why it's obvious. Why do you think it's obvious? Because to me, it's the opposite of obvious. So.
To me, it's obvious because we have this ingrained born assumption that we're pretty much all human. So why wouldn't we? There's not any not humans except for like demons or angels or ghosts or whatever those. They're not necessarily ETs. Human, ETs. So, I mean, if you look like a human and you talk like a human, then you're a human. So we assume some of you are better than others at speaking. I mean, we listened to an Alabama guy yesterday, and he was not the easiest to understand. And we listened to some guy from England or Yorkshire or, I don't know, another place in the Great Britain area. So you couldn't understand a word they were saying.
I could.
No, you couldn't.
I could.
They weren't talking in human.
I was thinking the opposite. I was thinking the reason I can't understand them because they're talking too human.
Too human, yes, totally. Huh.
So that was quite interesting. Yeah. So often people will tell me what planet or vibrational dimension they're from.
Well, yeah, that's the circles we travel in. When you say, where are you from? It doesn't like Kansas or, Kentucky.
Yeah.
Or even I'm from Romania. It's like,
identify with
third dimension on the side of light.
Yeah.
Some place called blue.
Yeah.
This territory, Pleiadian. Yeah. I'm from Pleiades.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, I completely understand. I can identify with many of those places.
That's true.
I might have answered that question that way to you before.
I identify as a cat right now. Oh gosh. I would not get banned for being politically incorrect.
Well, I think that you're allowed to nowadays.
Oh, you are? Because on the whole, I identify with.
Yeah, that was funny. We saw a guy identifying with a cat driving a car. And the cop was going to call animal control on him because cats aren't allowed to drive.
Yeah. That was very, very funny.
It was hilarious.
I don't know if it was made up and with all actors or whether it was real, but either way, we laughed so hard. Anyways.
So that human spoke cat.
Mm-hmm.
and not very good human. Is that what you're insinuating by?
Often they will ask which one I am from,
Okay.
right?
Yeah, where are you from? Arcturus or Pleiades or
Earth.
Orion or,
Earth.
well, that's not interesting. Come on now.
Oh, okay. So, yeah, that's interesting too. One of the main things that I have figured out with regards to individuals who do not identify as human
Mm-hmm.
is that, of course, they're human because they have a body and a soul, but the soul had a trajectory of experiences that wasn't on Earth. And more often than not, these individuals' experience trajectory was completely 100% positive. They hadn't been playing with the light dark at all. So landing here is like boom, so weird and unnatural and just doesn't make sense.
Well,
And the outsider, they feel like the outsider since they were born.
do you think that when you say here, you mean here inside the contained
Yes.
small Earth?
Yes.
Or
inside
here,
the contained
here in the
smaller.
large uncontained Earth?
No.
No. So many specifics. I mean, it's like the souls that come from a light universe or a light place coming into this containment have an idea of what inside this containment might be.
Not
or
really.
in most cases, no clue whatsoever, but they're still answering the call as if it were a light place that's asking for a light place to come fix your tire.
I think that nobody came here without the knowledge of it's going to be hard. It's going to be something you would not expect.
As in challenge hard.
Yes.
Not
it's going to be challenging.
Impossible hard.
Right. It's going to be challenging, and it's going to have things that you had never experienced in your life, and they're harsh and against your nature. Right?
Some of us have been doing this for a while, so.
Well, you're from Earth.
That's our excuse.
So let's say it this way, okay? A person had a trajectory of experiences in the physical, let's say in Pleiades, for 10,000 years. 10,000 years, yeah. 10,000 years of experience.
Just giving numbers.
Giving numbers.
Because you might live 10,000 years as a Pleiadian. Who knows?
Just one life.
Yeah, so let's say
10,000 lives. Maybe,
maybe quite a few Pleiadian incarnations.
Maybe that too, right?
Quite a few incarnations as a Pleiadian, and a Pleiadian outside of a containment field in a light universe, and Pleiades being a
different frequency
of experience. Not, there's 8-9 stars or whatever, and it's like right there. It's not that, but
not exactly. I mean, that might be a point on a map,
Yeah, it's a way to say
a key, maybe.
A way to say the Pleiadian collective frequency.
Right. And then they pop into Earth, right? And maybe they got larger Earth.
Teams too, I noticed.
Yes. Maybe the larger Earth, and they spent another, let's say, 5,000 years in the larger Earth, and they popped into the contained Earth, the one that we know as Earth, and they spent another, let's say, 15,000 years there, right?
Right.
And this is just numbers. It doesn't mean that the contained Earth has been there 15,000 years. But it would feel that way. And
it would feel like 15 million years. Are you kidding me?
Yeah, it's eating the planet. So, anyways, we're talking about the kitty now. So, if we look at it from that perspective, eventually it appears that 20,000 years were spent on Earth.
It's tickling me.
And only 10,000, the first 10,000 in the Pleiades, but they still identify which one, right?
Well, that could be the 10,000 years in Pleiadians that's a longer year.
From, right? No. Let's just say it's all the same.
All things are equal?
Yes, yeah.
And they identify as Pleiadian?
Or do they? Or would they identify as Earthling? An Earthling? Oh, no. A Pleiadian that's really good at playing the Earth game, maybe, right? Very good at it. But is it originally an Earth soul, right?
I tend to think that, when Pleiadians group together, they identify as Pleiadian no matter times they've been to Earth.
Right.
And if they're around other Earth ground individuals, earth granolas or earth muffinis that are all about earth and let's garden and grow trees and whatever, they probably then can tend to identify more with their earth side because they are all of that, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
But I have noticed when people group, they tend to agree with the thing that they're grouping around. Like Starseed Conference, you don't go there and not find Pleiadians and Arcturians and all that, and they're obvious to each other.
Mm-hmm.
You can totally see who's
There's
what.
a Pleiadians, that's a
There's a
Sirius
Pleiadian, that's
there.
a Sirius. Look at that one. There's a Lyran over there. Watch out.
Look at that one. It's an angelic
Yeah.
group.
You can feel that at those conferences. But we go to the, let's say, the Sasquatch conventions.
Mm-hmm.
There'll be more Earthers,
Mm-hmm.
and there'll still be some Pleiadians running around, and maybe a few Arcturians. Not very many Arcturians, just a few Pleiadians and Syrians. But they'll be the ones with the UFO on there.
The Sasquatch.
Sasquatch hat. Oh, you got the Loch Ness monster.
I have the Loch Ness, yeah.
Right. So I mean, they go there, but they don't like group there.
Mm-hmm.
And then if you go to the survivalist conventions, have you been to one of those?
No, I've never been to a survivalist convention.
Yeah, me either. Have you been to a Comic-Con?
Yes.
And are there starseeds that go there? Or?
Oh my God, so many. Like, it's insane. Like, we say 90% of them are starseeds.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's quite
When you go to Makade's, Rez,
no,
it's like the
not many starseeds there. Like, there's a few, but not so many.
Not by sales of book of starseed type stuff. I would say there's like one or two.
Yeah, maybe.
And it's us that came.
Yes, or some relative that
Some relative.
for the week. Yeah.
It's interesting, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I've noticed that too. Okay. Well, I guess the point of it is that birds of a feather flock together.
They do. Okay. We're here to experience life as humans because at this moment, this present time, we are human. It doesn't matter where you came from, what planet we identify with, what vibrational family we're working with. The most important job you have to do is be human now. How about that?
Well, I can feel like a bunch of emotions come with that.
Oh, yeah? What emotions did you get?
Some of them were like resignation. Like I have to put aside the interesting stuff and be the whatever plebeians you call me.
Oh, the plebs.
Yeah,
Yeah, my husband is a pleb.
I have to go be a pleb. I can't be a Pleiadian starseed. I gotta be a plebeian, whatever that is.
Just to clarify, there's a ton of plebs who are actually starseeds. So,
well, that's how my interpretation are, right?
Yeah, that's what I wanted to clarify.
Just like being a tool seemed like a fine thing to me. Then I found out it wasn't.
If you're British, he has no idea what you just said. Okay.
Yes. Yeah. So we're here to be human. I kind of get it, but we're here to be human and bring our Starseedian sensibilities with us.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what I think being human is about. It's not about
deleting
your entire
10,000 years of Pleiades experience,
which is tending to be in this contained space what's encouraged and influenced. The environment is
full immersion.
Is like full immersion, but more than that, the power of our other game lends itself to
very limited viewpoint. Huh?
The viewpoint that condenses that so that it isn't a part of being human.
Yeah.
Right. Narrowing your field of awareness through chemicals and I mean, how many people can spend time on their ascension work if they're just like so sick they can barely get out of bed?
Yeah.
And how many can do their ascension work when they're like totally distracted by beep, 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 beep. And how many can, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Mm-hmm. It's like the contained area is designed to keep us contained, right? There goes one more cat.
Yeah. All right, so what does it mean to be human?
I think that's what I was just saying.
Yeah, does it mean to delve into drama, suffering, war, love affairs, Lamborghinis?
Lamborghinis, yes.
Yes and no.
Well,
Does it mean to be human to do all those things? Yes and no.
yes, it does. And also,
Okay, I have a question for you.
I'm still thinking about the Lamborghini.
Okay.
I mean, not the paddle thing, ding, 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 ding ones, although those are kind of cool. Not the V10 ones either, although they sound pretty screaming. The V12 ones, you know, the older ones, but not too old.
Not too old.
Yeah, because they don't run very long. They break.
Oh.
But they look kind of cool.
They are very beautiful. And they sound nice. They sound real good.
The sound, yeah, the sound's good, and it's designed by, old school Italians.
The engine sound that I like the most, actually, is the Alfa Romeo Cloverleaf.
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with that.
The engine from that line, no matter what the age or what model, when they got the Cloverleaf on them, the engine sound is just incredible. I've never been able to find something so pleasant and amazing in the other cars. Although, to be fair, I haven't been around Lamborghinis and Ferraris very often. I have seen, living in Europe, you see them all the time. But it's like, I can tell one of the other ones, the Alfa Romeos, like a mile away. I can hear them. And I go, oh, yeah, that's really good. And the other ones, yeah, there's a nice car around here. Oh, I can hear Ferrari. I can hear Lamborghini, but it's not the same. It's almost like there's another thing. So I had a friend many, many years ago, and she could tell what car it was by the sound of the door closing.
Well, yeah, you can hear a Mercedes door close.
Exactly. And she said the door that is the most amazing car door to close is the Mercedes Benz at the time.
Yeah.
Before they got took over.
The next most amazing car door is yours or mine, whatever car we might have, because it goes crunch. Because there's a whole bunch of rocks in the door.
Yes.
In the bottom and the top and the handle. Tons of little rocks. It sounds like a rock closing.
Yes.
Yeah,
we're gonna do an episode on rocks. We have to.
Okay.
Anytime I see a person going to their house and there's rocks everywhere, and it says, one of us. We're gonna be best friends. I don't care what you do in life. I don't care what things you have. What paradigm you're choosing. I don't care. You're a rock person. We're going to be best friends.
I just can't help but look at our wood stove.
Our wood stove is
only thing we've done to our wood stove to,
pile rock.
Repair it since we bought it. Not painted the rusty streak. Not cleaned too much. We did get a screen, but it's basically covered
in rocks.
In rocks and stones from the river and crystals and, everything that can hold some heat. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah,
that's our reason. Yeah. So we have sacred rocks. We have
agates. Lots of agates. Yeah. A giant round, whatever. I don't know. Granite.
Granite. Yeah, that's a granite.
A whole bunch of crystal quartzes. Yeah. Not the kind that are like clear quartz crystal. Like, I got a crystal. No, the ones out of the river.
Yeah, the river. The river.
Anyway, that's what it means to be human for me right this minute.
Exactly, right? So it's yes and no. For many, many years, as we lived in the contained light-dark paradigm, drama and suffering, war, love affairs.
Yeah, that would be like what's to be human is to have a war and overcome and have this hardship that you make your way through, and you've turned yourself into a sharper, better person because you went through all this dramatic growth opportunity. Yeah, that was what a human experience was. When you say go have a human experience, that's maybe where that little bit of dread came in. It's like,
yeah, because we are so used to having human experiences in the light dark
that we human experience is like, I think I had enough.
Yeah.
Got it.
Can you imagine the equivalent of a Lamborghini in the Pleiades?
Well, I think I want to imagine it.
What does that look like?
I've seen a few examples in a few of the movies that we've watched, like Jupiter Ascending or whatever. They had some pretty good Lamborghini Ferrazos or whatever's from the 80s. Remember the? Yeah, they had some in that movie. Like, oh.
All right. We do need to experience those things and have been doing so for many lifetimes or one lifetime. However, the true experience of being human lies in becoming completely present. Coming to present time and sensing with all our human senses right now, observe, experience, feel. Now, to clarify, when I said all those things, I didn't mean drama, suffering, and war because now we're in a split. And that I wrote this before the split. Okay? Because we're reviewing some archived articles to bring them forth again. And
when was this one?
2010.
2010. Yeah, the split was around 2011.
Yeah.
How did the split happen before 2012?
It wasn't a split. Everybody was going to, the entire planet's collectives, not
Oh,
human.
that's why 2012 didn't
Everybody
happen.
was going to go whoop, up in a level of awareness that was way beyond what we have right now.
Yeah.
Everything and everyone was going to do that, right?
That's what 2012 was supposed to be.
Yeah, whatever. But anyway, so it's going to go whoosh, right?
I was there. I listened to all that, all of the stories, all the channels, all the remote viewers, all of the everyone except for you told me what was going to happen on 2012. They
What
were
did
all
I tell
wrong.
you?
You were right.
What did I tell you was going to happen?
That pretty much nothing was going to happen.
That was such an unpopular viewpoint at the time. My gosh.
That was the
worst viewpoint.
I didn't share any of those videos that you said. Nothing's happening.
Exactly. Because of the drama.
Because of what's that? What's the drama thing that a human experience? Drama, suffering, war, love affairs, Lamborghinis, apocalypses.
Yeah.
That's why apocalypse sells, honey.
Apocalypse sells.
So.
Yes.
It is true.
Yeah. So being in present time is actually what you need to do.
Since we're reviewing, you did say that the split was agreed to in 2011.
Yes.
Can you just give a quick, like, what does that mean as a human? Because this is about...
I have to answer what that means as a human?
Yes.
Oh, well, depends on what side of the split you want, right? If you want to continue with drama and hardship and you value it, think that you're going to become a better person or grow with the suffering, then it means the same. You just continue with those. You're good.
So the human experiences continue that.
Yeah. If you choose it like that, if you choose to continue as things are with wars and enslavement and there are others.
In other words...
and you want to blame everybody else for what you're experiencing.
2012 is coming, and on 2012, or whatever day, let's just say it's 2012, the whole planet ascends into a new light universe where everyone's experience is altered to be high frequency. Let's just say, and that means... that means there's no power over others. You don't exert power over other people to make them do things.
Right.
Or have other people exert power over you to make you do things. Which isn't to say you don't have influence over people. You do influence people, but not in a power over others way.
Correct.
Like power over others ways includes like, if you don't do this, I will
blah, blah,
fire you, spank you, torture you, make you not have food, whatever. These are power over others.
Right.
There was a thing going on not long ago that seemed to be a lot of power over other, like mandates or things like that. What was that? Oh yeah, that would be one of those examples of a power over the structure.
And we're going to really delve into that in our Wisdom Keeper Hour. Behind the paywall of $8 a month, actually.
It's a month, yeah.
And then we can really look at interesting things that we're not allowed to say on our public little videos. Podcasts.
Some people are allowed to say, but those people are allowed to say it for another reason. But I'm not going to get into that in the first hour either.
Yeah.
But we might touch on that in a second.
Hear what those reasons are. Yes. Just wait and see.
Drama, suffering, and war. That was the pre-split reality. It's called light dark. Another way of saying it. And in the light dark reality, you have power over this, but you also have fear as a primary Instigator of
Money making
experience.
energy.
I'm going to do this because if I don't, I'm afraid of what's going to happen.
Exactly.
Or I'm going to do this because if I don't, I'm afraid of what's going to happen.
And I'm afraid what's going to happen anyway. So we got
it's going to happen
stressed mode.
anyways. So that's like
Yeah.
the other thing that isn't in the after 2012 world. Well, it turned out so many people loved their drama, suffering, power of others addiction that they decided they didn't want to have that.
Mm-hmm.
And in a free will universe, I guess we'll call it free will because you said it's like, here you want an apple or an orange, but you can't have a banana.
You don't even bring the banana into the equation.
Or you want an apple or you want an orange.
Yeah, that's what you can
Ignore the bananas.
There's no bananas.
There is no bananas. Bananas don't exist for you, but you can have free will of either one of these. So in that free will universe, there's choice, right?
Yes.
And you get to choose what's on the menu.
Not exactly. You can choose an item from the menu. You don't choose what goes into the menu.
Okay, fine.
You already decided you agree with the menu.
Yes.
You've agreed with the menu. You entered the restaurant. You knew what was in the menu. You read the menu on the door.
When you
go,
walked in the door, that's called incarnating.
Yeah.
When you walked in the door, you already agreed to the menu
that was on the window.
The menu. Once in a while, the chef can have a chef special.
Yes.
Which is to say, with a great amount of, making friends with the chef, you might be able to get the chef to make you something that's not on the menu.
Uh-huh.
But those aren't like normal or usual.
Right.
Those are like...
There's a restaurant in Sacramento. It was one of my favorite restaurants. And the chef would decide on the menu that morning because he'd go to the market in Sacramento, 4:00 in the morning or whatever. And he would purchase all the things for that day. And then you got there and there was a very short one-sheet menu. And you could choose your food from it. And it was extraordinary. I mean, the food was amazing. Amazing. And I remember one day we got there and we couldn't go through the front door. Oh, no, we couldn't. Yeah, we couldn't go to our favorite sitting place, which was in the garden area. We couldn't go there. It was all closed and there was big guys with guns and black suits and like sunglasses on.
Wow.
And I'm like, what the hell? How come we're not allowed to come?
Clear, because the mafia mob, Russian gangsters, they're here. Yeah. They get the twos.
Uncle Ernie.
Uncle Ernie?
No, it wasn't there. What was the one that...
Goodfellas.
No.
Godfather.
No. The guy who ruled president of California? I don't know what the name.
Governor Newsom.
No. Arnold
Schwarzenegger was there.
Yeah. He took our table.
Hey, Sacramento's his city. I'm sorry.
Yes, yeah, that's what they say. It's like, we really apologize. I know you booked that table, but that's his favorite table.
It's his complete city.
And,
so
he doesn't need to book it. We just move everybody else out.
If you want to have that, you just run for governor too, little sweet little thing.
Yes.
Huh. Yes, exactly. You can have whatever table you want in the restaurant too.
You can have your table. Even if somebody else booked it.
What if you're governor of a bigger state? Is there a bigger state? Or do you have to be like
maybe the federal
senator of the state?
Federal?
Is senator bigger than governor?
No.
Vice president?
I mean, the bigger state,
Queen?
The United States, right? So if the president of the United States, he would push Ernie out of there.
Yeah, but would the governor of New York push governor of California out?
No, but I think at another time, no, it wasn't. It was just him. A couple of times, actually, took off the table. But it was such a great place. And yeah,
anyway,
you can really see the power of others right there.
That was a good restaurant story.
It was so much. It was, oh my God. I still think about the food in there. If we ever go back to Sacramento, remind me to go to that restaurant.
Okay. So I'll remember Schwarzenegger's restaurant. That's how I'll remember it. Already fine.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you forgot to finish the split, though. And the other side of the split is what was going to happen to everybody.
Mm-hmm.
But it turns out that not everybody wanted that.
Right. No, but everybody wanted
the ones that wanted what was supposed to happen on or about 2012-ish. 2017 instead of 2012. Whoever wanted that said, okay, we'll take that, but we're going to have to split from those who don't want it because they're just incompatible. You can't have one and the other because one is the without the other.
Right.
So you can't have the one with the other and without the other.
Yeah.
They just don't cohabitate very well.
No.
And so
You can't
in
have
order to have this
without wars and have a world with wars at the same time. It's very practical.
Right. It's just practical. Nuts and bolts can't co-create. Two different realities that are incompatible simultaneously in the same space. Okay. So the ones that said we'll take the 2017, 2012 world, but we don't want to like have suffering in the having it.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so to accommodate that.
That was the overall view.
Yeah.
I mean, I checked. And the overall view was because I actually literally asked people.
Yeah.
Okay, we can't have everybody rises in frequency and experience and out of the light, dark, or power of Radius paradigm. So do you want to like instant, right? And you can't see those people who choose the other anymore? Or do you want it like gradual and slow and kind of almost invisible?
Practically, I mean...
Undetectable, kind of. No, well, you would detect it, but it was like very, very slow. So
you know they've chosen, but they might be on the fence.
And you can still live the rest of your life with them, you know, but...
You could still engage with their light side, or, you know, you can occasionally indulge in your drama side and you're like, oh, yeah, that's really what I don't want.
Yeah.
But, you know, they still exist and they persist.
Yeah.
That's...
And everybody said I want it to be done slowly and without pain. I don't want to see my loved ones just vanish or die or suffer. I just don't want to see that.
Yeah, that's reasonable in my mind. But then again, a little while later, when you ask those same people that very same question, they say, just get it over with now.
Yes. But are you serious? Are you seriously saying no?
No. But I feel like it.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, no. Just let's take our time.
Can we just hurry up? I mean, a little bit faster.
Yeah, a little bit faster.
It's like,
okay.
People are, that's what it is to be human, right? I think in some ways, humans are trained to not be happy with whatever it is that they just got that they asked for.
It's possible.
Yeah.
All right, so ascension simply is becoming all that you are right now. Disintegrates your humanity and all your other TYs.
TYs.
Humanity, I think it's TY at the end.
Humanity and all your other T's.
Yes, T's.
Humanity, equity, whatever other T's.
Yeah.
Equity? Don't understand.
Yes, you do.
So ascension.
Dan, you understand.
Ascension is a little bit like enlightenment, but it's a little bit different also, right?
It's you just raise your frequency, you ascend in frequency, you know.
But when you say ascend in frequency,
you should basically
human for a minute.
Expand your awareness to see all the bits and then take conscious choices rather than unconscious programmed choices.
So speaking human, you said expand your awareness. So they can see all of the choices.
Yes.
And picking the high frequency ones is expand your awareness to see all your choices and pick the high frequency ones, not the low frequency. Because you can expand your awareness and pick the low frequency ones, right?
Totally.
Yeah. So that's the difference in a sense. No, not the difference between expansion of awareness and enlightenment. It's expansion of awareness doesn't mean high frequency.
Right.
It just means expanded awareness. So you could be like a very aware dark wizard.
Yes, exactly.
Or a very aware light angel, or what word would you say? Like different white magician? Oh, mystic. White mystic.
There you go.
Light mystic. Let's call light mystic.
Yes, there you go.
A dark wizard or a light mystic. Yeah. Right. That could be some words that you would use.
Yeah.
So enlightenment is somewhat different than expanded awareness and high frequency, low frequency, right? What is enlightenment?
It's correctly perceiving your true nature.
Right. Well, you could sit with that for a while. Correctly perceive your own true nature. Yeah. You could sit with that for a very long while, or you could instantly recognize it, or somewhere in between. Right? Yes. That's the human experience of that. Yeah. Okay. Got it.
Okay. Human is a physical human body incarnated by an eternal divine soul or spirit.
Okay, wait. an eternal, divine soul and spirit.
Mm-hmm. It doesn't matter where the spirit evolved or was before it incarnated on Earth.
Is there a before or after with an eternal, divine soul?
Yeah, so basically, it doesn't matter if your soul came from Pleiades. Guess what? Now, you're human.
Oh, jeez. Fizzle. Okay, fine.
Interesting response. I want to delve into what you just expressed, but we're gonna do it in the Wisdom Keeper Hour. So subscribe to our drivingtotherest.com and we'll see what the panelists have to say about this.
Expert panelists who have a lot of experience being human and being star seeds. They all drive Subarus, don't they?
Not all of them.
Well, they all wish they had a Subaru. Okay, see ya. Love you, honey.
Welcome, everyone, to the Wisdom Keeper Hour, the second half of Driving to the Res. Today we're talking about We Are Human. Hi, Inelia. We've got Larry, who will be here in just a moment. But we're joined today with our panelists. Myself, I'm Ashley Swill. I'm CEO of iBenz Academy, iBenz Method Mentor, Corporate HR Leader, Mystic, and Yoga Teacher.
Hi everyone, I'm Dr. Kara Kinsigley. I'm an iBenz Method Mentor, teacher, consultant, entrepreneur, gamer, aspiring pianist, and mystic.
Hi everyone, I'm Fred Guerin, aerospace engineer, retired as of today.
Yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
You're a consultant now?
And potentially consultant, and past life regressionist, healer, student of the occult, dancer, and etc.
Hi, I'm Ileana Rogero, mystic, mentor, psychic meditation teacher, architect, and founder of El Método iBenz, the official channel of Inelia's work in Spanish.
Awesome. Welcome, everybody. Hey, Larry. All right.
Hi.
So we got to dive into it. And the first reaction to this podcast and the article is, come on, Inelia. What next? You're going to tell us that our past lives don't matter either? You're taking all the fun away.
Opening a sea of possibilities for you to explore.
Oh, I like that. Okay, I'll accept that. Panelists, how do we feel about that?
That's better.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's better. Yeah.
You have talked about that before, like it's important to be in our bodies and be present as a human. But I have a similar reaction as Larry, like a little bit of, oh, okay. And I think is the part of like in my case, is the program of like, okay, you need to look for your spirituality, where you come from, and nobody, at least for me as a Catholic, is like the body is a sin, right? And then the body is everything wrong. Everything is wrong with the body. And you have to look for the enlightenment and afterlife and blah, blah, blah. So that, and start investigating, where am I come from and blah, blah, blah. Where is my energy? That it feels a lot more interesting, right? Than, be a human. Oh, okay. I mean, of course I have fun. Like I really enjoy, after realizing that our purpose is to be here. It's really fun. I mean, there's so many things that you can explore. I love Gaia. I love traveling and looking at different expressions of Gaia. So, but yeah, it was that little bit of what Ash also shared, like, oh my God. So forget about all that quest and research. Just be here. Like, all right. What about you guys?
Join us for the rest of this conversation at drivingtotherez.com.
And when you go to drivingtotherez.com and you join in the rest of the show, rest of the second hour, you also get to join in the after party. 9 o'clock on Fridays, we all get together, including you.